What's up? I'm Austin Griffith. Happy Bow Tie Friday here with the Build Guild. We're going to kick it off with Avelous, who has a token splitter. You should be able to share your screen, but let me double check. Yep, you're good to go. Avelous, if you want to kick us off and show us that token splitter.
Okay. Can you see?
Yep, we've got it.
All right. So this is my first time.
Yep, go ahead.
This is my first time. This is my first time. It's nice meeting you all. All right. So I just want to show a build I made, the token splitter. So what it does is you can use it to share tokens amongst multiple wallets. So this is the link. It's on my BuidlGuidl. The demo is there. You can go to the demo on my BuidlGuidl page. So what you do is, let's say I have a token. I have balloons token. I'm coming. Just a minute. All right, I have balloons. So let's say I want to let's say I want to send tokens to 5 wallets. And I want to send balloon tokens to 5 wallets. So what you do is you copy the balloon address, the contract address, and paste it. And then it loads. I currently have 1 million balloon tokens in my wallet. And let's say I want to send it to 5 different wallets. I have 5 wallets here. So I'll copy these 5 wallets and I'll paste it here. You separate each one with a comma. So I actually have 4 wallets here. And then I'll be sending 1,000 tokens to each one of them. That's 4,000 tokens in total. So when I hit send, I first have to approve the contract to spend my tokens. And all right, I click approve and I wait for that transaction to be done. Then I can send the tokens to the wallets.
I missed the network. This must be on Gorley?
Yeah, this is on Gorley.
Cool. There it is. Yep.
Okay.
Token split.
Okay, transactions. So let's just see it. All right, so this is the transaction. Here's the case. Still indexing. All right, yeah, so
There
I sent
they are.
1,000 tokens to 4 different wallets. So what if we wanted to send different amounts to different wallets? So let's say for the first wallet, I wanted to send 1,000, then the second 2,000. So there's an option for that. You can split tokens unequally. So there's a field where you put in your wallets and the value you want to send to each one. So let me just copy the wallets. Let me just copy each wallet separately and I'll paste it. So let's say
Ooh, that was nice. It auto-detected the comma and created a second UI element, right?
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. So let's say I send 2,000 to this and copy another wallet. So I send 3,000 to this. Let me see if I can get a 4th one. Right, I'll send 4,000 here. Okay, so I hit send. Same thing, you approve. So this in total, this would be 10,000 tokens. So I'm approving.
Yep.
10,000. Yeah.
And did you write the smart contract for this one, or was this a smart contract that we had laying around already?
I wrote it.
Cool. Good work. Great.
But it's just a simple smart contract. It's not like,
Yeah, no, but this is that's where you get started. Like that's how it works.
right? So
Building a token splitter is a great kickoff to a lot of other bigger projects. And it looks like it's working. I wonder if we could approve a larger amount. Like if you could approve 100,000 of them to start, so you didn't keep getting the approve thing.
okay.
I don't know. I wonder if people would want that. I'm just saying it out loud, like, you know, just thinking of the user experience. If I was in here all the time splitting balloons to people, I would maybe like want to approve 100,000 or 200,000, you know, at a time or something like that. So then I could just get in here and split them out like one transaction after another, sort of, rather than having to do the approve each time. Just a minor thing, tiny little thing. This is a good build, dude. Did it split out? Are we waiting for the?
Okay, it splits, but okay, let me check. Let me check.
There it goes. There it went. Yep.
No, this is the old one. So let me
Yeah,
this is the old one. So this is the one 25 seconds ago.
Yep.
Yeah, so this is it.
Yep, and there's the different amounts. Good work, dude. Great token splitter. Can we look at the contract just for a second? Oh, you have.
Yeah, I want to show you something. You can also see the history of all the transactions of your own.
And are they separate functions for equal and unequal? Okay, cool. Yeah. And then you're just logging the events for each one there. That's cool.
Yeah. All right. So for the equal, the one we just did 4 different wallets and 1,000 balloons. Sorry, let me go back. Okay. 1,000 balloons to 4 different wallets. Then for the unequal, 1,000 to this wallet, 2,000, 3,000. Yeah. So that's great. Yeah. So let me just run through the contract. This is the token splitter.
There we go.
Yeah. So just 2 functions: split token equally and split token unequally. So you put in an array of the recipients, the token address of your token, and the amount for each one of the recipients. And then we have the ERC20 library imported. So to inject the functions into the token address, and then for each one of the wallets in the array, you transfer the amount to each one of them, and you emit an event. This is the event that is used for. I query this event to show the history of each one of the transactions done. All right. Then similar, we have this unequally. So for this one, you put in each amount. We also have this one is an array, but this one is just a single. This one is just a single. So for the first wallet in the array, it sends the first value in the array for the amount for each. So that's the contract.
Great work, dude. Great build. This is a good smart contract and front end that kind of go together and kind of give you a good understanding of getting started with Solidity smart contracts. So yeah, keep it up, keep building things like this too, that like help you figure out where your blind spots are and help you improve your Solidity. Right. I wonder if there's like reentrancy concerns with the way you send the tokens. I don't know how to even think about that, but like if it was a 777 token and you could re-enter, I don't know if you could do anything nefarious there, but it's fun things to think about too. Okay, next up I think is Damu. Damu's got Emotilon and Emotilon and a trait swapping. I think that the Bufficorns had trait swapping. Here we go. I'll let you take it away. Oh, you're muted there, Damu. Uh-oh, maybe he has the same microphone issues I had.
Yeah,
Let's see.
if I
Oh, there he is.
no, but if I share the screen, my mic is
Your microphone goes off when you share the
yeah.
screen.
I
Oh
will try
man.
again.
He does it this time and like water starts leaking out of the wall behind him. And he plugs that and then like the electricity goes off.
Can you hear me now? Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yep, we got you. We got you.
And you are seeing my screen.
And we see the screen. We got it.
Yeah,
Double
great. This is the Bufficorn swap trade project that we are building with for the ETH Denver event. This is the Bufficorn that made for the Sport DAO in ETH Denver, and well, they are very nice. They have a lot of different traits. So we are building an application to be able to swap trade between two Bufficorn. Like you want to swap the eyes or the back or whatever in the Bufficorn, and you can swap with a Bufficorn that another Bufficorn that you own or a Bufficorn that another person owns. This is a swap that was made. This was a swap between the 23 and this other Bufficorn, and they switched the background, and there is another one that is switched the handheld, this one, and here you can see like this one. This is the 223 Bufficorn that, yeah, and this is all the swaps that he made, and you can see all the how it look before each swap and after. And if you want, you can see the swap of anyone.
And is it true that like a lot of these traits are off chain? So the swap is kind of happening in a database for some of this stuff. Is that right?
Yeah, all the image from the Bufficorn are off chain, are saved in a S3 Amazon bucket. So all this stuff is happening off chain. No, nothing is needed to run on chain because the representation, how this Bufficorn looks like, are off chain. Well, we are working now on like a marketplace. Like you post, I have this Bufficorn, I want to swap my eyes for this kind of eyes, and then someone can make the swaps if they have the eyes that you want, and they have what you want. But well, this is a question or something. Any question?
Yeah,
Good stuff.
I was I was kind of curious how you would do the swaps, like where you would choose the traits you would like to swap and how you would basically do it.
The dev application is not working right now, and I don't own any Bufficorn to make a swap. But this is mainly this same page where you can select a Bufficorn that you own, and then select what trait do you want to swap, and then you select the ID from the other Bufficorn that you will swap. Then the owner from the other Bufficorn enter on the same screen and approve the swap, something like that.
Okay, so basically they get notified that someone wants to make a swap with the Bufficorn, and then they get to approve it if they want to.
Exactly. The other
Cool.
Bufficorn owner have to confirm the swap, and the swap is made.
Sweet.
Thank you. Well, and now I have the other project. This is the Emotilon name. I will send the link. This is deployed in BuidlGuidl. I show some previous Voter Friday, the Emotilon and the NFT, and now I building like a game with this NFT. Here. See, Shay. Please, can you mute?
I can't mute that dude. Emo, can you mute that dude? I can't mute that dude.
I can't either for some reason.
Okay, now it's okay. No. Someone don't want that I show the Emotilon game. Okay. So this is the game rule. Each NFT, each Emotilon have some heal, and each heal means 1 second of life. When the Emotilon reach the 0 heal, he can't make any move or action anymore. And you can collect heal on the board, and you can collect emoticon on the board too. When you collect emoticon, you get an ERC20 token, and you increase the coins of the emoticon too. The coins for the emoticon is like a score for the emoticon. Well, with each move, you lose 2 health. And when you are on the board in the same position with another Emotilon, if the other Emotilon is yours, you can bet a new Emotilon. And if the owner of the other Emotilon is not you, you can fight with this Emotilon. And well, your health will reduce, and the Emotilon from the other two. It is based on the stats from each Emotilon. Each Emotilon have stats like speed, strength, and other ones. And if you are in the same position of the board with another Emotilon that have 0 heal, you can kill him. You can kill. And you gain all the coins from the other Emotilon. Not the emoticon, so only this coin that is like the score for this Emotilon. So you can keep fighting and trying to kill another Emotilon to gain all these coins. Well, and the main objective is to have the Emotilon with the higher coins, and a secondary object is to have the Emotilon with a longer life, because if you have to keep playing to be able to keep your Emotilon with her. So this is another nice second objective that I have to add this in the interface.
Gourley's just too slow too. I feel like to play a game, we need like 3-second block times or something.
Yes, it's slow. Yes. It's very slow because you have to move on the board and you have to wait. It's a real problem. That it's a nice thing when I try it in a local network.
Yeah.
But in Gourley, it's slow. It's really slow. I can meet.
You were talking about maybe looking at mud.dev. I feel like an obvious first step here might be to build a quick indexer that we could have running, and also putting it on a quicker network, right? If we put this on like Optimism or like something with shorter block times, And then we had an indexer that was like listening for all the moves and like quickly serving up what the current map looks like. It might speed things up.
Yeah, I'm using a sub-graph,
Okay.
but yes, sometimes the sub-graphs graph take a little time to get updated, and it's not so nice.
Right. Where I was going with that is even after you built all the indexer and stuff, then that's kind of what mud.dev has already done. And I think that's why we're looking at using mud.dev, because they've built a lot of the infrastructure that kind of comes with, I think there's like a component system that you use. And if you use that component system, the whole game kind of just works for you and has an indexer and stuff like that. So maybe we like making our own games is fun, but I wonder if we could use a game engine and it would be faster for some of these. Like we'll have to just experiment with it. Sorry, keep going. I'm collecting gold over here.
Yeah, we should try mod for sure. But well, I don't have too much to say. This is well, we have to play a little to check if this is fun.
You should move your character to the right too, and I'll meet you over at that square, and we can battle. I'm moving my character toward, I don't even know where that square is. 6, maybe 6, 6, 6, 7. No, 6, 6, I think. And we can have a battle.
Okay.
It'd be to your right.
Yeah.
Oh, mine's going super slow though. Oh, you're already moving. And if I do 2 lefts in a row really quick, will it just do both of the moves? Like, could you do a bunch of moves in a single block? Like warping, like when we did warping at the chain link event?
Yes, you can make a move after the other, and maybe it's meet on the same block. I'm collecting some coins.
I think I might land. I think I might go past you. I tried to land on the same block as you. I'm that guy right next to you, but I think I might go too far. Let's see what happens. Oh, transaction failed. It didn't even work. Oh, wait, no, we're on the same block. I want to battle.
Yeah, we are on the same position.
Nice.
Fight.
Nice. All right. I think Carlos is up with some Scaffold-Eth too. We got to figure out how to play this we got to play this Emotilon game in Denver sometime. Let's get it going on a big screen and have a little battle. Maybe we could program it too.
Yeah, sure.
Awesome. Always a fun build. Damu, good job.
Thank you.
I went to try to swap my Bufficorn traits, and it took me to a type form that I had to fill out to get whitelisted to be able to swap.
Yeah, you have to be whitelisted to be able to use.
Yeah, to swap traits in a database. Dang it. Okay, here we go. Carlos is the man. Scaffold-Eth 2, what do you got for us? I'm ready. My heart is ready.
Do you want to do like an intro for Scaffold?
Sure.
Scaffold-Eth 2,
Scaffold 1 is like a prototyping stack, but it's built by Austin and it's really messy and gross and it has a lot of overhead. The goal is to get you in and to get you prototyping right away. And Scaffold-Eth 1 accomplished that in a lot of good ways with the burner wallet and the contract component. But in a lot of ways, it was extra messy and has grown to be a bit stale. And a new repo, a new version of Scaffold-Eth with a state-of-the-art stack is needed. And I think that's where Scaffold-Eth 2 will take over. And maybe one day it won't be named Scaffold-Eth 2. So we're always open to some ideas on naming. But for now, we're just calling it Scaffold-Eth 2 to make it like a mimetic second to the predecessor. I don't know. You're the man, Carlos. What do you got for us?
Thank you. Can you see my screen, like the GitHub screen? Yeah, cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so as Austin was saying, like Scaffold-Eth is a great tool, especially like for tinkering and and prototyping, and is I think especially useful for like newcomers, like people who just land into the Web3 or Ethereum space, and is super nice because they just run some magic commands and everything works, right? You can like think of the smart contract, you can deploy it live, you can deploy your UI. So it's an amazing tool. I think like I'm guessing like most of the people that are here today is because Scaffold-Eth, right? So the thing is, maybe like people that are like more experienced, like they get a little bit uncomfortable with the code because it might have like some like technical debt is a bit like bloated sometimes because it's like a ongoing project that has been going for a few years, and we have put a lot of things together. So it's like a product of like tinkering, right? Scaffold-Eth is for tinkering, but also we have been tinkering with Scaffold-Eth itself, right? So sometimes it's like you have like too much stuff and you have to and you want to develop something and you need to start like removing a lot of stuff. And what we want to do with Scaffold-Eth 2, which Austin was saying, maybe we are not sure about the name, like Scaffold-Eth 2 is like the code name. Maybe in the future we'll have like a different name. So what we want to do with Scaffold-Eth 2 is just like take like all the good parts of Scaffold-Eth, and bring that to like a minimal core, because I guess like the partner wallet and the contract, the book page and the faucet, that's like the three things that are like the most important of Scaffold-Eth, and everything else we think that should be optional. And we are thinking about having like this minimal like core, and then giving the option to people if they want to add like some other stuff. Maybe they want to use Foundry instead of Hardhat, or maybe they want to use the graph, right? So we think that is something that it should be included on the core, but it will be available for you like installable via like extensions. We don't know yet how are we going to implement that, but that's something on the roadmap. So okay, stop talking. Yeah, that's enough. So let me show you some stuff. By the way, like, I'm going to paste the repo here. Like everyone is welcome to come here, like check out the. Of course, like read this warning. This is under active development, so we are like breaking things all the time. So this is not stable yet, but feel free to go here, check it out, check the issues, give feedback, work on pull requests. This is like open source, but I guess that we are like being a little bit like low key on this, and the idea is to present this or be like more loud about this on Denver, I think. So yeah, we'll see how that goes. So what else? Yeah, like Scaffold-Eth 2, like I said, it's taking like this like partner wallet, local faucet, the contract components, and is built on top of like a modern stack, like Next.js, Tailwind, WAGMI, Rainbow Kit, like all the tools that the cool kids are using. And if can you see my IDE, the code?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
We got
so
to
I invite
right?
you. Sorry?
Sorry, we have the README right now.
Yeah, cool.
You're good.
Yeah, I mean, I invite you all to check the repo, but like just like a quick overview. We have like the Hardhat package and the Next.js, and we try to make everything like super, like structured, and especially like components and hooks and utils. And we have like this extra Scaffold-Eth folder in some of the places, like components, Scaffold-Eth. And that is because maybe at some point we will extract like this functionality to like a separate package, and so people can also use like these hooks or components in their own projects. And this is how it looks right now. So like I said, you have the faucet. This is the partner wallet, and the like the back contract page, which is like I think looks a little bit nicer than the original. And the contract is a little bit different. We tried to add like some minimal stuff to the default contract, so like people can see like more like types and different functionality on Solidity, but also like trying to keep it like minimal. And we have like, for example, this like the fancy like the address like input component. For example, this is Austin's. So when you do like atg.eth, you get like the block key, you get like the address, and you also get like the ENS avatar, which is nice. And
Beautiful.
I think this is cool. I think we could like export this into like a like a separate package, and people could just like npm install like Scaffold-Eth address input, because I think it's pretty cool. And by the way, I think like WAGMI doesn't have like the reverse resolution of ENS, so I think we are going to have to implement that. Like so, because like you can like put your ENS here and it will resolve, but not the other way around. So I think that we are going to need to implement, like the reverse looking. So you paste an address and you get the same data. You get the ENS and the avatar and everything. Okay, so you can like send some, you get the receipt here. You can also like send some value, and it will, if you send some value, you need to check the Solidity code, right? The premium flag will become true. Boom. So that's like a little bit tricky game that you can, it's like, oh, so you can like check the code and see why is that happening. Okay, what else? Right now, we are working on the example UI page that we want to serve for two things. One is to show people how you can use like all the components and all the hooks that are built in on Scaffold-Eth, but also like showing people that you can create like any kind of UI that you want. Because with Scaffold-Eth, one happens like all the Scaffold-Eth builds like look the same, which I think is like a nice feature. Like you can see a build and say, okay, this is built on Scaffold-Eth 1, right? Because everything look the same. And here it would be the same. Also, we have like this like nice theme, but we also want to show people that with Tailwind and Daisy that we are using, like you can build like any UI that you want. And I guess, let me show you here. I think Andrea is here, like she made like the design for, for the example UI. And we are actually working on this right now. It's this. So this is like how we want it to look, like the example UI, like the hero, it's going to be like a completely, you see like the header is the same, but the page is going to be different. It's going to be like a different vibe, like more like fancy, I guess. And so we are showing that you can build like any UI that you want. And also like this little screen is going to have like a, some like animation, like, which I think is cool.
Looks so cool.
Yeah.
Looks great. I like the double UI too. The side-by-side UI is a clever idea. And it's really pretty.
It's really cool. So yeah, I don't know. I think that's it. Like I invite everyone to, like go to the repo and check it out and, like maybe test it a little bit. And if you want to contribute, we are always happy to, to get a contribution. And also I want to thank like everyone that is contributing so far, like Shill and Rinat and Justin and Naim, all the, and I'm probably forgetting some people. So like Eda also, sorry. So like, thank you everyone. And, hope to see more like contributors coming. And yeah, let's see how this looks in a month. I'm just like, looking forward to show this in Denver.
Memeing Scaffold-Eth 2 into existence. Yes, I think that's the plan. Good build. Great work. I'm excited to build with Scaffold-Eth 2 also. I think that's another quest that we have coming up soon, is just to build a bunch of things with it. You and I kind of collectively and separately just build a bunch of things and see how it goes.
Yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait to to finish the tool to start like building tools. You know what I mean? That's
with the tool. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. That's good though. And when I look back at Punk Wallet and multisig.lol and a bunch of other products, those would be so much better if we could pull some components out and put them on a new modern stack too. So there might be some fun forkable things that we can upgrade to. Awesome. Okay. Great work, Carlos. Excited to see more from Scaffold-Eth 2 and meme Scaffold-Eth 2 into existence at ETH Denver in a month. Last one up is Justin, who doesn't have a Scaffold-Eth build, but I think you probably learned some stuff with Scaffold-Eth along the way. Like you said, you were building a token splitter about a year ago too, right? So it's there's a journey here. But what I'd like you to show us is how to go a little bit deeper and look at possible liquidations and how you could build a bot to do liquidations. So Justin, take it away. Or Nowonder. I don't know what we're supposed to call you. Oh no, we can't hear you. Oh no.
Justin is no wonder.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Lots of good anons. Uh-oh.
We can see
I
the
don't
screen.
know. We can see your screen, but
Then
yeah. Uh-oh. We can see your screen, but we can't hear you. Maybe stop sharing again and share again. I think there was like something weird with the audio with Damu, right? Where he shared and yeah, but your audio is not even working here though. Do, 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 do.
Hey.
There we go. We got you.
Okay.
now, yes.
Really sorry, guys. Yeah, so I've been working on a liquidation bot for AAVE on, I guess you could use it on V2 anywhere, but this one's on mainnet Ethereum. So let me share my screen again. Yeah, so like Austin said, I guess it's been like a year and a half ago, 2 years, I started building stuff with Scaffold-Eth. Also, you guys can still hear me and everything, right?
Yep, we got it, and we can hear you. Everything's.
And I just need to put this away. Okay. Yeah, so I just felt I was ready to learn some of the ecosystem stuff, so I thought I would get started with creditors, and you'd discover a ton of problems. The first is being like, how do we efficiently get data for each user that has taken out a loan on AAVE? And we need our data points to be as high fidelity as possible so that when we go to execute, we know exactly, like when we clear their position and receive their collateral, that we're receiving, we have an idea about how much we're receiving. And AAVE is pretty complicated in this, and their documentation, it can be pretty sparse. So I planned on just, now that the bot is in a place where so I'm executing, but I'm not yet profitable so far. Like if you look at my EigenFi link, I'll share some links after this. Not yet profitable, but close. So I'm going to open this up for questions at the end, but I'm going to try to run through this. I don't want this to be like a half hour of me just rambling about liquidations. So I'll try to get to like the nitty gritty and the cool stuff that I've done, or at least stuff that I discovered that I didn't necessarily read about. So I've kind of explained what a liquidation call is, but sort of like the alpha of how we make a bot good is we want to execute as soon as the positions become liquidatable, if possible, and if they're profitable at the time. So we have to update per block, and we have to update, a few data points per block to make sure that our estimations are correct. And this is RPC heavy, or like if you're using a local node. My local node's not working yet, so I'm using an RPC right now. And in the beginning, this can be a bottleneck for even getting off the ground and collecting a list of users. It can be a huge problem. So I found a way to batch calls that another person, I don't know if anyone is familiar with libeVM, but he wrote a sandwich bot called Subway, and it's just a really popular bot. But he also, I found out about this thing called multi-call through him, and apparently it's a MakerDAO contract, but you can batch a bunch of calls together. So we're actually able to get all of the data that we need about 20,000 to 50,000 accounts in like 2,000 to 3,000 RPC calls. So it reduced that overhead by a lot. So that's a little bit of the alpha.
Could we zoom out just for a second, because just to explain kind of
didn't mean literally
the reason. That's okay. No, and usually like when you're in the weeds, it's really hard to remember to zoom out a little bit. But just to kind of like hit on some points from a high level, AAVE is a lending platform, and you go to AAVE, and if you want to borrow something, you have to put up collateral. So you put in some collateral and you get to borrow something else, and that collateral stays in the system. And what makes it the whole system work is if for any reason your collateral becomes worth less than the stuff that you've borrowed, then a bot needs to come along and liquidate you. And it's rules written into a smart contract. So the smart contract is kind of like the jurisdiction layer here that kind of covers everything and makes all the rules work. So the system only works if there's these liquidation bots. It sounds like this is like a bad guy kind of thing, but really like the system doesn't work if there aren't liquidation bots. So it's good to kind of like go through that. Like this isn't some like hacker stuff. Like this is like in terms of game theory and how this loan works. Like this is an important piece of the process. But basically, I put in $1,000 worth of ETH. I get back some other cool thing that I wanted to borrow, maybe like $600 worth of some weird token. And if something ever happens where my $1,000 is actually worth less than my $600, the two different assets, then we need someone to liquidate this and close the position so the lender doesn't end up losing money from this. Is that probably close? And I think that there's one other thing here is when you do the liquidation, you get collateral back, and being able to value that collateral is really tricky. So not only do you need to have like high network, high bandwidth RPC connections, but also like you're saying, really good information about the collateral and the value of the collateral.
Yeah.
Sorry to kind of like speed run that. You go.
That was perfect. Yeah, AAVE, of course, like they realize users or bots will have to liquidate these positions. So each collateral that you liquidate or that you receive in a liquidation has its own liquidation bonus that you receive on top. So AAVE itself incentivizes the bots in order to do this because the contract can't execute upon itself, just the way everything is transaction based on Ethereum. It's not going to execute upon itself, right? So we need a user to execute a transaction because even if the health passes below that threshold, we need somebody to come in and take care of the position. So yeah, I think that was a good overview of why this is even happening. Because yeah, it does seem kind of dark, but really it is a necessity. So yeah, yeah, from that point, it's kind of just where was I?
Sorry, I interrupted.
No. I expected that, but I didn't know how to deal with it. No, and that was perfect. So some points about the data is, like I said, when we're combing through all of the users, we basically go from like the origin block when the AAVE protocol was initiated to now. And we're going to, basically we have an event filter that finds all the users that have borrowed from the platform. So they would possibly have a position. And the caching part of this is the most terrible. I can just go ahead and show you some of my personal mess that I've created for myself, which I will fix. But let me try to find the event filter. Yeah, so this is the main portion of the caching, which we pass on to like the multi-call, or sorry, not in the multi-call. This is before, but this generates this massive list of users. And this is anybody that's ever taken out a loan that's over 0.1 ETH. And you can mess with those parameters. And that's something I want to build into this, is letting you like parameterize, like, what users you want to target and stuff like that eventually when I open source this. But yeah, we're just basically checking all of the events that have been emitted from the origin block of the AAVE protocol and just kind of reducing that data down. And that can be a pretty big problem. But luckily, like with multi-call, it doesn't take too much time to get that data. So the Ethereum block time is like 12 seconds. From my test, it takes around 2 seconds to get the data that we need. And what we need for a liquidation call is, I'll go back to that, is we need to know the collateral asset that we're liquidating, which we should liquidate the most profitable, which will have the highest liquidation bonus determined by the protocol, which the DAO votes on, whole nother thing. But then we need to know the debt asset, the debt that we're clearing, and we need to know the user, of course, and then the debt to cover. And there's two parts of data that are really difficult to, I guess, get accurately, at least for me. It was the debt to cover, and it was the collateral that we're receiving. So if we don't know the collateral amount that we're receiving, then we don't know if the transaction's even going to be, or if the liquidation call is going to be profitable. So I was having issues with AAVE's documentation on how to get these numbers, and I was afraid I would have to determine by token. So instead of doing like all these per token calculations and having this, you know, even more hairball of a caching system or an index, I decided I'll just get the data straight from the AAVE protocol. So I deployed a contract that anybody can use. If you go to this repo, I'll put the link to this, or I'll put all the links in the chat or in the video description, or I'll send them to Austin. You can use this contract to get the exact debt that you'll clear and the exact collateral you'll receive, because they didn't have a view function like that available, or not that I could find. And then basically, like, once we have all this data, we just need to execute the liquidation call. And so I actually got front run like yesterday because I forgot to switch to a private relay and I instead used my Infura. And
that's a good sign that you're doing something right, though. If someone's stealing your transactions to make money, it means that you're very close. Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. It's like, I feel like I've got 90% done. I think literally my next slide is this. Yeah. The last 10%, AKA the other 90%. That's how it feels, you know, like,
yes.
Like now I'm down to like, okay, how do I make sure I don't get front run? How do I make sure that my estimations are like really accurate? And what if, like, you know, my transaction isn't included until the next block? Like, what is the difference in the gas price? How can I reduce the gas cost by using like an EOA and flash loaning to that EOA instead of a contract? Because right now everything is flash loan based. It's like I just wanted to make it as challenging as possible because anyway, I have problems. So the anyway, I got front run. Yeah. And now I'm always going to use a private relay, obviously. So the last 10% of this is basically like I set deadlines for myself. So it's not perfect. The cache is quite imperfect, or the indexing is quite imperfect. So, you know, with deadlines, you make concessions. It ends up being different, but it's not quite perfect. So pretty much just like iterating over how I'm combing through the data, making that process more efficient, etc. Making sure that my profit estimations are correct, because I actually in the transaction I didn't get front run, I lost $4. So I still need higher fidelity on my profit estimation. So that's really bad. But I'll fix it. And then so switching to something that's not flash loan based and using either like using, because these positions are small anyway, I could probably cover the capital in order to cover these positions myself. So I could have an alternative where if the position is small enough, I can use my own capital in the contract, you know. And then basically one thing I want to build in is something that detects, just some script that detects if market conditions are changing. So if any of the collateral or debt tokens shift a lot in value, basically, like I want to make sure my indexer runs at that time so that we can scrub through every user and see if any of the health values and any of the positions have really changed. So that's something I want to build in. And this actually came up in a conversation I was having with you, Austin. You were like, yeah, so these exotic tokens, and you got me thinking like, well, yeah, we could have like a Luna type situation. So that would be a good time to check in on all these positions and see if we can, you know, make a liquidation call. And
yeah, it seems like a lot of this is kind of a waiting game too, where you're waiting for certain conditions to happen. You could build the bot and have it ready, but without, you know, big fluctuations in the market, there's not going to be a lot of liquidations. So you're almost like kind of fine tuning the bot to be ready for some incidents in the future when the market conditions are right for liquidations. And then your bot goes from making no money to making, you know, a year's salary overnight because you were in the right place at the right time. And I think that's how kind of a lot of this stuff, I don't know, because I'm not that deep into this stuff. This has been a huge learning experience for me. So it's really cool to get this kind of exposure to this kind of stuff, but you should keep exploring, man. This is neat stuff. I enjoy learning more about this.
Yeah, thanks. So yeah, I'll provide the links, and hopefully the multi-call stuff is useful. It can be useful in pretty much anything. And you can see the contract that I've written. The contract is super simple, straightforward, and it can, you know, just that alone can give you an idea of what's happening. And then once I clean up the code, I'll just be open sourcing this. And basically what I want to do is I want to open up issues, and I want to see, like, if anybody in the Build Guild can help me like solve these issues, then, you know, maybe like we can run this version of the bot, and like whenever it actually hits the liquidation, maybe we can YOLO some ETH to the builders and just have fun.
Sounds cool. Yeah, running a liquidation bot as a public good sounds fun too.
Yeah, I know that's kind of like out there, but like, I mean, I would like people to just like come with their ideas and collaborate and meet people, like, rather than just like, and it's like, it's better for a bunch of people to have, you know, I don't want to be making decisions with a bunch of capital that a bunch of people should be making decisions with. And anyway, it's like a Taoist philosophy thing. I'm just going to open source it, even though it's been like 5 months of work. I'm just going to open source it, and hopefully we can all have fun with it. That's it.
Dope, man. Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that work on this stuff that work in the dark because it is beneficial to them to not share their information. So we appreciate you sharing what you've learned so far, and yeah, keep it up, man.
Thanks.
YOLO those links to us, and we can throw them in the video too.
All right, cool. We'll do.
Awesome. Okay, I think we did it. Happy Bowtie Friday. Another successful Friday in the books. Thank you all for showing up and showing off, and keep building cool stuff with Scaffold-Eth, etc. Have a good Friday. See you guys later.
Bye.
Later.